Hey everybody, so this video that you're about to see was shot about a week before Gibson did their infamous PR disaster video that they took down, where they basically said they're gonna sue everybody and they're gonna, trademark their headstock and blah, 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 all that shit. Basically, my good friend Colin Scott from CS Guitars and I wanted to take a look at the new Gibsons for 2019 and see if there was a quality increase. So what you're gonna get is a very unbiased video, because we had no idea of just what giant dickheads Gibson were going to turn into. So we're just judging the guitars for what they are, the guitars, and not for the people that run the company. So without further ado, let's go to it. Here's the new Gibsons for 2019. Hey everybody, welcome to TGU 19. I'm here with my very good friend Colin Scott.
Hi.
Thanks for being on the show yet again, Colin.
Oh, pleasure to be here.
Always a pleasure having you on the show. So, one thing you guys have been asking for a lot is to look at the new Gibsons for 2019. So, what we've done is we've collected 4 of these guitars, and we thought we'd take a look at a bunch of them. So I've got this big goofy Thunderbird here right now, and I've been playing with that. Colin's got the 2019 SG.
And the standard is our cherry red color with a black scratch plate, your classic look.
Yeah. And we've got the black on black Les Paul. This one's actually kind of cool.
And of course we have the Explorer and your, again, classic sort of finish, as you'd expect from the classic style of Gibson.
Right, exactly. Very cutting edge right before they invented the wheel. Anyway, seriously, so Gibson's been quite controversial the last couple of years. I mean, like, they went through bankruptcy protection. Emerging from that, they've fired the idiots in charge and got some people in who actually fucking understand that they're supposed to build guitars and not a lifestyle brand. And so they're back to trying to build quality guitars and
going back to basics and trying to recapture that old Gibson thing.
Yeah, what we got here is Colin's got the really good amp. He's going through like a Rev Dynamis and a Harley Benton 2x12.
Sounds great.
I've got this little angle cab, and it doesn't quite have the bottom end that I'm used to getting. So for all you guys going, glad your tone sucks, it's actually a decent angle combo, but I just like a 12-inch speaker. I don't think that is. That looks like a 10. Biggest issue I've had with Gibsons for the longest time is tuning stability.
Absolutely.
And you've got an SG here.
Well, SG, it's your typical SG is going to have some tuning problems on the D and G string as they break through that nut. They just don't ever like to return back to where they should have done, and so that's always going out of tune. Which, shall we try this?
Yeah, let's see.
We did tune this, so hopefully it's still there. It's mostly there.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're playing, a rock show, if you're playing a classic rock set for the geriatric set who's too drunk to notice, no big deal. If you're in the studio, it might cause you some issues. I had a situation where I recorded a 66 SG once. We quad-tracked it, and we had to throw away an entire album's worth of rhythm tracks, 12 songs actually.
Yeah.
Because it sounded like there was a fucking chorus pedal on. And we picked up my Spectre Hellraiser and put that on the record instead, and the Gibson couldn't hold a candle to the Spectre in terms of tuning stability, and for recording, that's what counts the most.
Time is money.
It's like, it was a good tone coming off the Gibson, but if it's not in tune, it's fucking worthless. Mm-hmm. I mean, this, I gotta say, I really like the feel of the neck. It's kind of thin. Tuning's pretty good on this. Yeah, my fretting's not. Oh god. That's not bad.
Yeah, exactly.
This is actually, somewhat halfway decent, but it's got that, that wonderful reverse headstock issue. You just hear that?
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty insane. But, so It would be cool if they had like a little bit of a pad down there. Maybe
some sort of foam, something there just to absorb that. Hair
Absorb
tie
the
round
music.
about it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, obviously that would be the first thing I do is put a hair scrunchie on it. But you'd think in 2019 somebody would manage to make a guitar that comes with a solution of that stock, instead of relying on a third-party solution.
Yeah.
It's like they made Gibson made a guitar that tuned itself that nobody asked for.
Yep.
But we're asking for, hey, it's like, let's fix the fucking headstock ringing. That'd be a big plus.
That'd be sweet.
Here's the thing: Gibson used to do cutting edge designs back before they stormed the beaches of Normandy.
This would have been totally radical in its day.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is satanic, spiky.
Yeah, it was a brilliant design.
Yeah, looks good. But
a million years ago.
Yeah.
But it's like Gibson needs to get back to innovating, and what I mean by that is not like a flying V with a reverse body. I mean, like that was just stupid. Or the modern V. That was
even worse.
That was even worse. But at least they're getting this right.
They're getting the classics right.
Yeah, it's
move
like,
forward from here.
It's like the nut looks like it's been cut with care. That's a big plus. No frets are jumping out at the sides. That's one thing I look for is just how the fretwork is. Seems pretty decent. I'm not finding any dead spots on the neck. That's a big plus. The neck joint feels good. And I gotta say, I like the overall balance of this guitar.
Again, as what you're saying with that one, the build quality looks to be very good. It's sort of flawless finish. The fretboard, the fret ends, it's got the binding makes the ends of the frets, which is a nice touch.
Yep.
I've always liked that about the Gibsons. And everything looks to be in its proper place. It's correct.
We're gonna have links down below so you guys can check out the pricing on these guitars, because everything's in euros and I want to do some conversions and make sure I get the prices right for you guys back home in North America. So if you guys want to, what's it cost? Yeah, just follow the links in the description below, and we'll point you in the right direction. Okay, so I got the Les Paul. You got the Explorer.
The Explorer. I do like a big bottom end on the big arse on the guitars. It's always lovely.
No, the Explorers are cool. I mean, I'm like they're really good sounding guitars in the studio because of that big.
The mass.
All that mass behind you, your low string is great. You know what I mean? Of course, the Les Paul is great. This one actually doesn't feel super heavy for a Gibson Les Paul. I've played a few Gibson Les Pauls where it's just like they just feel.
Well, that'd be the modern weight relief where basically there's no wood inside that at all. You carve it all out. Have you seen them without the tops on them recently?
No.
They're just basically hollow.
No shit, really?
Yeah.
Well, it should resonate pretty good then.
Yeah.
Horrendously out of practice, but so there is that. This is why I always bring other guitar players on my show to play, because I just don't have the time to practice. But not too bad. I mean, the neck feels good. Like, it's Les Paul, so the neck's a little bit thicker than you might be used to. But I mean, again,
I like the simplicity of the body. It's not bound. It's if you're looking for something a bit basic looking, that looks great.
This is a good metal guitar. I mean, it's just black on black, and you got silver, but it's pretty cool actually. Again, don't see any issues with the neck joint. The binding's really good. The frets aren't jumping out or anything like that, except for maybe that one. Nope, we're good. Okay, double check.
Yeah.
That's like that's the first thing I look for in a guitar is like if the frets are jumping out, I don't want to mark up my I don't want to cut my hands on a guitar or something like that.
No, it's not cool.
Because somebody wasn't paying attention. Somebody was saying they got one of the new 2019s and the pickup selector was wired backwards.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Okay, they got that right at least. That's a big plus.
You'd expect that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, these aren't the super high-end ones. I didn't want to get the really expensive ones, but these are still over €1,000.
Yeah, you're still spending a good amount of money. You expect a good instrument.
Exactly, and that's the thing you got to keep in mind. I mean, these days especially, it's like with the Gibson, you're basically paying for that badge more than anything. And if it really matters to you, if you have to have that badge, then go by all means get one of these. If you want a good guitar, you certainly don't have to spend this kind of money to get one of these.
Oh yeah, there's some really good guitars at lower price points, but it depends what matters to you.
Exceptionally good guitars at lower price points from other brands and whatnot. But I don't even know if these ones are made in the US or what. you know.
Printed made in USA on the back of this one, stamped into the headstock, as you'd expect.
And I can't read what's stamped in the back of the headstock because it wasn't stamped very hard.
It seems to be stamped and then finished over. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I can't even read that. It's my old man eyes. These are actually bifocal.
I think both these ones that I've had have been made in USA, printed on the back of them.
Okay.
So it should be the proper Gibsons.
Okay. Can you read that? I can't. Yeah.
Well, that is really badly done.
Yeah, that's
okay. That's and yeah, it does say made in USA, but it's barely legible.
Okay, well, yeah, okay, so it's really badly done. Can we get a close up on that?
Is it the same with the serial number as well?
Yeah, you can't really see. I'm gonna twist this, try and get this in the light a little bit, and you really can't see the badging there. But seriously, it's like, yeah, they should have hit that a little bit harder. Okay, so come on, okay. Minus a couple points there, Gibson, but at least, I think, what do they got? They got Grover tuners in this, which is great, because the Gibson tuners, I've always hated. The ones with the plastic.
With the plastic, like on the SG.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I really can't.
That's great. The Grover ones feel a lot better to use.
Yes.
They feel like they're actually tuning.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I'm a big fan of the Grover tuners for a long time, because that's what they put in the Schecters. And that's like would be the first thing I would do with a Les Paul. Like, even from 5 years ago, would be just drop Grovers in, just as a matter of point of principle, because you don't want to spend all that time fucking around just trying to get the thing in tune. And here's the thing, I mean, like, the big difference, of course, between the SG, the Les Paul, and then the other two guitars is the inline tuners versus the 3x3. 3x3 is got an inherent flaw with the G string, whereas you're gonna find it's gonna be a lot more.
Hopefully this is stable. Might be that E string.
Yeah.
Which is unusual.
These are brand new guitars we're playing.
Yeah, straight out the box, so
the strings might be a little bit new. Let's take a look here. Not bad. Not terrible. Might be able to put that on a metal record. You might be able to quad track with that. So unfair. You got the good tip, man. Shit, next time I'm sitting on that.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Anyway, so what are your thoughts on the new Gibsons for 2019?
To be perfectly honest, I'm a fan of the more traditional looking Gibsons. I wouldn't say I've got a chubby for like the good old days, but I certainly do appreciate the sort of classic sort of vibe, and I appreciate that Gibson have gone more towards that. These look great to me. I think they're for anyone who's just wanting the quintessential Gibson, and there's a lot of people still wanting just to go up on stage and be a rock star. That fits the bill.
Especially if you're playing old folks' homes.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, there's plenty of the bands from back in the 80s and whatnot who are just reforming again.
Okay.
Oh hey, and they're playing an old crowd of old people. So this might be the look they want when they kind of can afford it. But for anyone like I suppose ourselves who are more young and live and up to date with the trends, we want to see something a bit more modern. Like we see what maybe some other companies are doing, incorporating some slicker, more modern designs.
Sure, I'd love to see, maybe a 7-string or something. I'd also like to see Gibson maybe tackle a fan fret. That would be really cool. I'd like maybe a fan fret Explorer or something. That would be kind of cool.
Instead of going down the lines of the robot tuners or these other innovations, go for the innovations that are making a success for other companies. Not necessarily chase or copy their designs, but use that old school Gibson design idea of being pretty radical and just take it with a more modern edge.
Sure. I mean, like, maybe a Les Paul with an Evertune bridge or something like that.
That'd be pretty sweet.
It would definitely solve the tuning issue. That would be something I'd really like to see. But I mean, bottom line on these, they're not terrible.
No.
They're actually pretty good. Are they worth what they're asking compared to the competition? Probably not. So ask yourself just how much you want that badge on your guitar and how much that's worth to you. And keep that in mind when you're shopping for guitars. But if you absolutely have your heart set on a Gibson, yeah, the 2019s are definitely a lot better than what we've been seeing in the past couple of years. So kudos to Gibson for managing to turn it around. Good job, guys. All right, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to my guest, Mr. Colin Scott from CS Guitars. Definitely check his channel out. I'll have a link to that as well. And as always, Hasadiga Iboa.